Reading your plan, one thing that you mentioned was things related to financial support for your initiatives. With departments cutting 10% across the board, they're not really going to be able to support you as much. And the student activities fee portion that you get is pretty small. So you mentioned other sources of financial input. What kind of things are you looking at?
Real quick, I'll let John handle this later on, but I just want to touch upon that. Our idea initially for that committee, solely dedicated to getting this funding completely outside of the university's departmental money, because they're not giving money, that would involve federal, local, even state government grants. And it's interesting because we were like, is this a good enough idea? Will this really hit the ground? And we got really good advice. We even went to your current VP of Finance who said it was a good idea, and it was great to get feedback from someone who was bitten in the mix this entire year.
And I think looking at this initiative in particular, student groups over the last year have seen their outside sources of funding dry up. So corporations are cutting back on their giving programs, and it's becoming harder and harder to get outside sources of funding. So what we would be doing is we would be offering our own resources through forming this committee to try to aid different student organizations, because it's so much harder to find and build these relationships with corporate sponsors. But furthermore, there is money out there in the federal, state, and local levels of government. If you can just browse your website, you can find, today I found over 170 different government programs, federally sponsored, that give to all kinds of nonprofit organizations. And those are the organizations that we have on campus. Now what we need to do is we need to help those organizations learn how to write a funding proposal and make ourselves attractive enough so that these government programs would consider giving us funding. So that's what we'd be doing, is aiding these student organizations to become sustainable entities year in, year out.
All right, thank you.